On today's episode, we'll be discussing the first photo shoot we've done in almost a year and the giveaway results. I'm Rob Slack, and this is Make Them Awesome. Greetings, folks. I'm Rob Swackhammer, and to the right of me, of course, always is Kirsten. How you been doing?
Good. I mean, we did kind of sort of see each other yesterday.
Yeah.
Not through a screen.
Not from a screen, which is pretty much how damn near everybody else has been doing it these days. So this was a very last minute thing. So first off, real quick, before I get into any of that, today was going to be the results of the embroidery kit Arta Wigs gift card giveaway, and we will be doing that at the end. So actually that's beer count 2, by the way. That's actually my second. So so we'll do that at the end, but then when this particular opportunity came up, it was like, well, this is something we can discuss, especially because we haven't done it in so long now. I mean, technically, KashiCon and UshiCon demos kind of fit, but they're not really as structured.
Mm-hmm. But it's basically been, 7-8 months?
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, I mean, if we were to look at
that's
it...
just... Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was saying, and that's just, since, Okashi, kind of, or however long it's been since Okashi, but did we really even do anything this year other than, the panels at conventions?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, so make that photo shoot number 1 of 2020.
Yeah, pretty much.
The end of October.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't know. I mean, well, nobody knew. Literally nobody in our sphere knew this was shit might not be happening at all. So what we did is there was actually a contest, Kirsten, you had found. It was Arta and Silk Baron doing a contest.
Yes.
So can you explain kind of what the whole idea was, the contest was? Because I didn't quite get the impression it was kind of like a Halloween-driven one, but...
So normally for Halloween, well, for October, Arta Wigs does their Artaween, and you just enter via Instagram, you use their hashtag. Mm-hmm. Every Friday they would share someone, they would get a $10 gift card, and then at the end they would have their 3 winners, and they would get more gift card amounts than the $10. So maybe it would be 25, 50, 75, or whatever it was like that. Mm-hmm. So that was the standard, but this year they decided to pair up with Silk Baron and do almost more like a normal costume contest where they're looking at construction and not just how does this look, for us to share to our feed or whatever, because usually people did Halloween things. So Lauren, the year we did Swoopy Scouts, her Sailor Moon actually won something. I don't remember if it was a runner-up prize or what. I think it might have been a runner-up one or an honorable mention type thing. Yeah, I think that's what it was, because I think it wasn't a very large gift card that we got. But so this one, like I said, it's different because it's more like a normal costume contest, kind of. But I say kind of because there wasn't as much provided about the contest compared to an online contest.
Yeah, we'll actually get into that a little bit later. So anyway, as for what we actually shot, and I haven't posted these online yet. I've only shared it in a couple of Discords. Was actually the Aurora behind you from Sleeping Beauty.
Well, technically it's Briar Rose.
Well, Briar Rose. But how long ago had you actually started work on that?
I made that costume earlier this year.
Right.
I'd have to look to see when exactly I started it.
Mm-hmm. Because I know she had been on the list, but it's just once everything went...
Yeah, well, because I got that gray fabric at least a year and a half ago at Austin Creative Reuse. Which I took a lot of whip pictures, so give me 1 second and I can tell you what day I started.
I was going to say, we don't have to get quite that.
No, I'm curious how long ago I started it, because I don't know. It feels like it was long ago, but at the same time, it's it's already November and it doesn't feel like we've really done anything.
Yeah, I know,
That
right?
conflicting
So,
feel.
so when Kirsten hit me up about doing this for this contest, I was, you know, I had to think through a number of things on this, because of the virus going around and stuff like that. Well,
Oh, I figured out when I started it.
when was it?
The end of June is when I actually found that top fabric because it's
Mm-hmm.
embroidered and has like leaves and flowers and sequins on it, so it's not just plain black.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I was like, time for a stash busting costume.
Yeah.
So,
So part of the reason, well, there's a few different reasons. No, Tal, do not go in front of the camera. Um, One big part of the reason why we went ahead and did this was because literally Kirsten and I have been like pretty much nowhere over the past few months. Like pretty much nowhere.
don't really do much of anything.
Yeah. So in that, so there was that to consider, and we also shot outside. And then, and thankfully, even though it was a Saturday, I mean, mainly it was on literally Halloween. I was kind of expecting more people to be at the park we went to, but they weren't. I was kind of surprised about
Well,
that.
so there was one park we drove past that had a decent number of people out because I think they were having like an outdoor Halloween party basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh great, is the park we're shooting at gonna be like it? But it
Yeah.
wasn't. There
Mm-hmm.
was just a couple of people on the playground and then some adults walking around. That was it.
Yeah, there wasn't much activity going on. I think there was more people there the day before when I like went to rescout spots and stuff. I was like, okay, this is kind of strange. Sure, whatever. Yes, Luis. Are you currently in your work from home outfit though? That's the question. So now, like I said, it had been a while since we had actually done a photo set. Even though we
It's
really,
been more than a while.
yeah. So it was kind of weird to kind of get, yeah. Why am I not surprised that's what Luis is barely wearing? Um, so it had been some time since we've done any sort of sets, and really for this one, we kind of winged it. Primarily because the character from the Disney version, well, and actually even
It,
in some of the
like
source
the most
material.
she does is she walks around a forest, meets a stranger, hangs out with said stranger, goes home, and that's all she does in this outfit.
Mm-hmm.
So there's
So
not too much to work with.
yeah, so we had been talking about it. And it's like, well, do we fully lean into the whole Disney princess thing? Do we, really reconsider like what poses we should be using and stuff like that? So we actually did collect some poses and ended up not using them.
We kind of forgot about it.
Well, yes and no, and I'll actually get into that a little bit more here. Um, well, not a fan of talking to strangers sometimes. Well, in these times, yes.
However, Luis is always a fan of trolling people.
Yes, that
Always.
that he is. So there was a few things we had to really think through. Now, one was the amount of time, or it was very limited because thankfully your mom Stephanie was able to help us. So, but we
But
were
yeah, because
still,
we had to do a pickup order by a certain
yeah,
time.
yeah,
So we were like,
exactly,
what, a max of 2.5 hours to work with? I think that
yeah.
was the total time.
Mm-hmm. So,
So
and actually, Luis, no, I did not fuck up, though. There was a couple of realizations, and it's been stuff I've picked up on a little bit over time. Thankfully, it's not been all that common. Thankfully, so one thing I realized about shooting outdoors is if it's hella sunlight and not a lot of trees going on, and I'm not entirely sure why this is. And this is something I'm going to have to think through and study somehow. Something about lighting in those scenes, like in my head, what makes sense in my head doesn't translate to camera, and I don't know why, but it's only in those times. Literally only those. Like, because
I
when
feel
we
like it's
shot,
worth mentioning a few of the things. So you see the color of that wig. It is
mhm,
not ridiculously yellow blonde. In a few of the images, it was legit glowing.
yes, yes, very.
I was like, what happened to my wig?
Well, because we have shot on sunny days,
Hmm.
because when we did Frozen Fever and we shot with Rebecca for Odette, those were super sunny days, but they were at,
It was a more like covered with tree area.
yeah, yeah, it was at Krause Springs. So, and I think that was part of it was because of the fact it was so open that it makes it more difficult for me to really think through the light. And there's probably ways to solve for it. I just got to think through what they are and work on them in the future. Thankfully, we don't really actually shoot a lot in super open outdoors because it's not always interesting as a backdrop. So, so let's actually talk more about the Art of Baron contest um, because you'd actually started talking about this a little bit
Hmm.
ago, and we kind of talked about this also with the people saying in picture portfolios. Was another one too. Was how do you know to what info or photos to present? When they're also like they don't really give you a lot of info about it. And
Yeah,
how do you
like
know who's judging?
so. This is actually one of the things I ran into because so for the Art of Baron contest, they were like, okay, here is the requirements for the submission. Email it to this address. Use this title. Um, in 600 words or less, tell us about the costume, how you made it, stuff like that. However, they didn't. They just said like describe your entry in 600 words or less. I think that was their wording or something like that.
Yeah.
There was you could submit up to 3 whip pictures and then 2 final costume pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that wasn't very much to run with, and there's actually a bit more about the pictures that I'm sure Rob will hit on,
Yeah.
as we weren't happy about something that was a requirement for the images.
Yeah.
Um, but so the one thing that really got me was, okay, they just said that I have 600 words to describe this costume. I know nothing about the people who are judging it, because when you go into like a normal costume contest, you know something about the judges.
Mm-hmm.
You know, okay, this one is the armor judge. They're going to look more at this. This judge knows the most about 3D printing, so I can expect, more specific 3D printing questions from them. And
Yeah.
here's the sewing one. They're likely going to be the one to flip the seams and ask about the methods.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of know things you need to consider before you talk to them.
Yeah.
Well, you know nothing about who's doing the art of stuff at all.
Yeah.
So I was like, how much detail do I go into this? Because I mean, if you have moderate sewing knowledge, I can give you an explanation, but if you're a beginner, the explanation would be very different.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a big challenge, was to figure out how much detail to provide and how much jargon is too much jargon to use in the explanation.
Yeah, because you had when you had shown me the text of what you were going to send last night, you were like, I just word barfed. And it was like, well, if we don't know who's reading it and who's taking in the info, then
So
just
hopefully they
fucking
enjoy
run
my
with it.
word barf.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, it'll at least lend to a good write up eventually of the costume build.
Yeah, I have a whole. I think I have I have a Google Photos thing that has
Yeah.
at least 50 pictures of the process of making that.
Yeah. So there we. So
So
we're at least set up for an article for that in
actually,
the
there should be
future.
more because I also have pictures from the wig, which was
Mm-hmm.
not initially a lace front, but I made it a lace front wig,
Yeah.
which is why I could have the pretty bangs
Yep.
and no of my hairline
Mm-hmm.
showing or hard hairline.
Okay. So this was a real odd part of this contest. So normally, whenever I send photos to the group, I always do like the full size, so you have them, and then I do some that are resized for Facebook and Instagram because they always have like particular sizes I like to use. But I always do it at the highest quality because Facebook and IG compression methods can sometimes kind of suck. So I'd rather give them like the best quality before they go fucking kill an image somehow. In the entry form, Kristen, when you showed me this, I was like,
He did not like the screenshot I sent.
so and Louise, you are going to laugh your balls off when you hear this, by the way.
That's very
They
right.
wanted a file size limit per image of 500 kilobytes. What the fuck is this, 1998?
Oh, and hello, Allie.
Are we on dial-up? Like, bang, bang, bang. For those who lived during that era.
So this morning when I was getting the second image ready for that, it took me a while to find like a compression thing that would actually like, before I downloaded it, tell me what size it got it to.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to like go way down to get it under 500. I'm like, what is the deal with that limit? Especially like if they're gonna post some of the final images, you think they would want something higher quality to start with?
Yeah.
Instead of
like,
500.
Yeah, like
And all of the images had that requirement. All of them, all 5.
Yeah, because when I was actually doing it, because I actually do my compression in Adobe Bridge, I had to use the 1200 pixel long edge versions, and normally in both or in any Adobe product for images you have an image quality scale of 1 to 12, and of course Tao's crawling behind the camera again. But it will also show you what the file size was. I had to go dump it down from like 12 to 6 to get it to fit.
Wow.
Yeah. I was just, ugh.
But yeah, so that and the lack of information, because at least like had they said, keep in mind the people judging this are blank, 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 just something about them, their backgrounds.
Yeah.
That would have been helpful. Or just maybe saying, oh yeah, address questions such as these.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been very helpful for knowing how to go about writing it, because like I said, there's different levels of explanation for how you do something. Some of them can be very complicated, others can be very simple.
Yeah.
So
I say submit. Louise says submit it as an emoji. I'm just thinking, do we need to eventually somehow have Tao and Bumble emojis in Twitch or something?
Did I tell you that for one of my clubs at school, Bumble's sort of kind of like the club mascot,
Yeah,
and my friend is cartoonifying his face to put him in a spacesuit, and we're gonna put him on shirts.
Why the hell not, right? Why the hell not? So now, and this is something we haven't talked about yet. Now that we've actually done this after so long, given the current situation, what was your feeling about actually doing a photo set again, even given with what's going on right now?
So I feel like the way we went about it worked well. It's like you said, we were outside. The assistant, so the one that was closer to me, was my mom. We lived in the same household. We do like a whole bunch of stuff together because we go to the food pantry 4 days a week. And I mean, we set it up in a way to avoid unnecessary risks.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we're like, hey, next to each other. And we avoided the other people in the park.
Yeah.
So, and we like, when we were done, we did like wash hands and stuff. So in case other people had been over on some of the stuff we were touching, we were careful. So I feel like overall, I feel like it was okay. It was kind of weird to also have that slight level of paranoia about like, don't you come over here.
Yeah.
Especially when you're a Disney princess, if a child sees you, they may like go running towards you.
Yeah.
So you're always like, please let no children see me right now, because
and I know
no child like attacking you when they could have cooties that you don't want.
Well, yeah, and we'd actually had some friends who had done some similar setups like us,
Mm-hmm.
who had actually said something similar about it. It's like, well, we don't want kids, running up or people wanting photos and shit like that. So on the flip
well, like the adults understand it. It's like the kids, they don't really know that they shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to hold it against them because they're little kids and they're like, oh my gosh, it's so and so. They're excited.
Yeah.
At the same point, you're just like, hi, please don't get that close.
Yeah.
Luckily, that didn't happen.
Yeah. So though on the flip side of that, we actually, we have seen some examples of larger group shoots, which was, I have questions, and but that was one thing I kind of had to really consider is like, what would this look like to everybody else? The fact that we did this, especially because we did it the day after they reported the highest number of cases, single daily cases in the U.S. How would that look? And I think for us, I think it's going to be relatively okay. And that was part of the reason why I really
Hello.
wanted to. Hello, Rizuki. That
Which
was part of.
actually, Rizuki did something kind of like how we did. I think her
Yeah.
Aerith was done in a park. I don't know if there was an assistant, so it may have just been her and the photographer.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what her comments are about how she felt when they did that
Yeah.
with that setup. So if you do have comments you want to share, please let us know.
Yeah, we were talking, or we actually finally did a photo shoot yesterday after months and months and months. But so no, having had this particular experience now and kind of forward looking, is there potential for future projects? Do you think? Yeah, types away. Yeah, Rizuki. Yes, we know you have
Um,
stuff to say.
so I do think it can be a good option for future projects as long as we keep a certain level of, okay, we need to be aware of what we're doing and
Mm-hmm.
like how we're going about it. So okay, we're not going to be licking any doorknobs, and we're not going to involve people that we don't really need to involve. So like we were talking, like say again, maybe we do a photo shoot for me or for Lauren.
Yeah.
Well, if we need an assistant, probably the go-to at first will be, if say it's Lauren having photos taken of her, then likely me or my mom, because I mean we all live in the same household.
Yeah.
So and otherwise, if it is an outside assistant, making sure that we do things so that they feel safe,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then sticking to probably more outdoor shoots
Yeah.
rather than enclosed spaces. I don't know when we'll actually like do a studio shoot again, so
Yeah.
which is kind of weird to think about because we did so many of them before.
Yeah. We've done so many
And now we're
studio
just
shoots.
like, sure, they say that they clean it well, and like you mentioned the other day, they're on separate AC systems, but I mean, that's still taking two people from different areas and shoving them in a room together.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah, I was gonna say,
the Earth is a studio. It is also a prison. I guess it could be a prison. Hey, but Sylvanas is breaking that prison and freeing us.
just to read this here, it was just me and the photog. Both had masks, except when I'm shooting, of course. Yeah, okay. Kept his on. I have something about that, and I'll bring it up here in a minute. There was always at least 6 feet between us, no assistants or guests or friends. Okay, good. Sometimes we have that, but not. Yeah, that's another thing you have to consider. People in your household and stuff.
Hmm.
So just safer to keep it on. Both been
Yeah,
about.
that sounds like you guys took a lot of precautions for it,
Yeah,
which is very good. Oh, yay. I'm excited to see what you do. Uh, but yeah, so like what we did, like I did obviously my pictures, I did not wear a mask for them because that would like eat up my entire face, and then I'd have bangs here, and maybe you would see like right here and a little bit of my eyeballs, and that's it.
yeah, yes. Go
Um,
location scout. Yes, I like location scouting. So,
it
um,
is fun,
but
but
from but for me, part of the problem is literally for the fact, and maybe now with one mask I have, it'd be a little easier. But like with the way my glasses are relative to my nose, depending on the mask, like it's so much condensation that like I would literally not be able to see, which is
just to show things that are to come.
yeah,
Santa flamingos,
Santa flamingos.
Christmas donuts, and then we're still gonna keep rocking the Halloween cats.
Good, good. So, but
So
thankfully for me specifically, I have like literally I just go to the corner store to buy beer and that's it. So, uh, say put tape on your face. Yeah, I mean that could be one way. Who
actually,
knows?
I need to go ahead and make you one of the two-layer masks and give you more, more of these doodads.
Yeah, I say
Because
thankfully
like
I
for my
have.
mom, with the wires we use now and this, it helps stop it from fogging as much. Like occasionally it will still, but yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually one, or yeah, and that's like I said, that's part of the reason why we felt like it was okay just to go ahead and do this. And what does that lend to for future projects? So that's something we probably will consider, and we do actually have a number of projects we want to do that will fit in an outside environment. And
Hmm.
thankfully, they're saying that the weather for winter here in Texas is actually going to be like a little bit above average, so we won't be freezing our asses off, which is good because
Hey, I mean, Canada may still send us the weird weather where it's going to get to like a 19 degrees and then a negative wind chill, and it's going to be like, wait, it feels like it's 10 degrees outside. What? This is Central Texas.
yeah, yeah,
And yes, Luis, we know your favorite place is the Whataburger drive-thru.
yep. Uh, so we're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, one interesting thing that
Mm,
will probably take more thinking is whenever we feel like trying to do a photo shoot with Allie when she has time. Because as of now, her life is just crazy, whether it be home, because she recently moved into a house that they got. Yay. Haven't seen it in person yet, but yay. It's a pretty new house. And then she's been working like crazy because her job is just going bonkers.
yeah.
But yeah, that will be one thing for when she does have the time. If we do a shoot, like how will we go about it? And yeah, what is time? As of now, she just doesn't have time. There's just work, sleep, and maybe a few cat pets in between, right?
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Oh, and dog pets. Tesla matters too.
Yeah, Tesla matters. But yeah, like, and that's gonna be very, very interesting. We're looking at this here, um, and then seeing the situation play out for, fall and winter, and then what does that make the country look like?
Hmm.
Who knows? But I think for us specifically, there's some level of safety, but we got to figure out how that puzzle piece fits into the rest of the world. Honestly, so I
Yeah,
think
well,
that
because we only have so much control over the environment.
yeah. Chris, what's this? Yeah,
Yeah, so Katsu, as we go forward, I'm getting more and more the vibe of it's not happening. As far as I see, they haven't really posted much promotional stuff, but just comfortable with that kind of a convention because as you know, it's huge, it's packed. Good luck getting those people spread out and keep a mask on all the time. I mean, it's hard enough to have people walk around a grocery store keeping it up. Like, I mean, for in mine, generally most people do, but occasionally you do see the people who are like, "Oh, I got my mask on, but my nose is hanging out. Yay!" So I
it's not
don't
how it works.
see that being handled well at a convention, and then the common touch areas and
Yeah. Well, and
yeah,
also to a
there's feelings
degree.
of uncomfortability with Katsu right now.
Well, and to a degree of that, with people braving the cold to go, do a shoot. What does that eventually look like?
Hmm.
Who knows? I
Yeah,
mean,
we're lucky that in Texas we don't get much winter. Like, occasionally
yeah,
we do get very cold weather, but it's not that often. Um, so hopefully we keep our nice like around 70 degrees.
yeah. I was gonna say, I think the big thing for me is really wind because wind
Wind
and
can wreck
enemy waves
wigs,
do
man.
not fit.
However, I must say, even with the wind yesterday, those bangs did not budge.
No, they didn't. It was the tails that kept
So,
kind of
yeah,
going
it
a
was the
little weird.
curls that kind of like got a little bit frizzy. So, but I
That was
mean,
honestly what took me a
it's
while
what
was
this.
like actually do all the damn spot heal to kill like most of the
I
really
tried.
weird hairs. So
That and it's blonde, so it sticks out.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, see, Rizuki is a creature that loves the heat. She does not like the cold. She would love if Katsukan was in the middle of the summer. She's talked about this before. So, yeah, she's probably envious of our lack of winter.
yes. Though I will
Hey,
say,
maybe that means you need to come down to like the south central-ish of the United States more.
though I will
When it is safe, though.
I will say that living 13 years here in Texas has truly turned me into a lizard. I will say that.
See, she's already a lizard, but she lives where it can get really cold.
Yeah, I know, right? Why?
Tau.
Yeah. So, I think that's really about it about the photo shoot. We will actually, yeah, photos in the cold are a bad choice. What was a bit from last year that parts of Florida got so cold that actually like iguanas were falling out of the trees?
Oh, that's so
And they were
sad.
still alive. They just had to warm up. But they were like
It's
were
still
literally just like falling off the
trees.
branches. Oh man, I wish I could remember what it was in Florida because it wasn't the Panhandle. It was like actually like Tampa,
But
like
of course,
Tampa,
it's always
Orlando,
like
like level.
Florida that has things like that happening that makes the news. It's always Florida. Always. If you hear a weird news headline, it's likely to be from Florida.
That's why Florida Man is a meme. I mean, come on. So
Florida is a meme.
Bugs Bunny just like sawing the state off so it goes float away into the Atlantic. Yes. So I was gonna say, did you have any last things you want to add for this before we get into the giveaway there?
Um, as of right now, not thinking of anything. But if I
Okay.
come up with something, I'll probably just say it. So
Okay. So we'll actually get some photos up, and I'll do a write up. I'll probably work on that later today, honestly. So if you have seen my Instagram story, I'll make them awesome. There is like one photo that you got to see. So the only one superior to Pepsi Man, and probably Rizuki and I are the only ones in this chat that's going to get that reference. So
yeah, that went over my head.
yeah.
Can one of the old people in the room explain it to me? Thank you.
Anyway, so let's actually go on to the reason why we're even here, aside from the photo shoot, is we did a giveaway where, and actually, Kirsten, why don't you go ahead and talk about the items you specifically have
All right.
there?
So this is just an embroidery book that has a couple of projects in here, and then at the back it talks about the different stitching that will be useful for these projects. And I think it also has a section on like the kinds of material you can use, possibly. Most of them usually have things about materials. Has patterns. But overall, it's a good introduction book to embroidery if you haven't really done a lot of hand embroidery.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have I think it's a 200-piece kit, yeah, that comes with 98 of the colors, as well as 2 metallics, and it has a whole bunch of extra sewing supplies like needles, scissors. There's some weird hook things. I'm not sure what they are, but there's hook things. A pin cushion, safety pins. So everything you need other than just like an embroidery hoop to get started.
Yeah, and that was actually one thing that kind of struck me interesting about both of the comments that you and I got was how so many people wanted to start embroidery, but they hadn't for costumes specifically.
Well, and a
So,
few people actually mentioned they wanted to like maybe add embroidery to normal clothing as well.
yeah,
So I found that interesting.
yeah. So I think actually using that as one of the prizes was definitely a good idea, and I think that's something
However, I think for whenever we do another one, which we'll have to talk to see what kind of a benchmark we want to do another one at, I may possibly try to do like a gold work kit.
yeah, 'cause I know
So
that's a subject you've been exploring quite a bit. So
it's interesting because it's a bit you use embroidery techniques, but the way you go about it is different, and the materials you use are quite a bit different.
hmm
So, which I was thinking the other day, I was like, you know what, a gold work kit would probably be cool because a lot of people seem to want to learn more about gold work, but just haven't gotten into it. Whether it be where the heck do I get this material? What is this
yeah.
weird twist stuff it's talking about? And
hmm
so
So yeah, there's definitely going to be more we'll consider on that level. But also one other thing we're going to throw into the prize pack is a $25 Art of Wigs gift card. So
and as you guys know, I love my Art of Wigs.
yes,
I probably have too many of them, but I like my Art of Wigs.
So anyway, so what I've got here on the screen now is, and actually let me pull, because I got to go to the window here. So thankfully, we got, actually let me do the count there, 73 entries here. And so thanks everyone, especially if you did happen to get all 5 entries. Thank you for doing that, because like I said, one of the things that we're trying to do is grow the Twitch channel. So what I've also got here is a random number generator. Yay, Google. Yay, Google. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to roll the RNG 5 times, and the 5th number will determine the winner. And the reason I want to show 5 rolls is so you can actually see that's truly random, even though with Chris and I, the way we were talking, it's never actually truly random because of computers and a whole bunch of other science bullshit. So, alright, so let's do roll number 1, roll number 2, roll number 3, roll number 4, and roll number 5, number 13. Let me go over to that window to see who the hell it is. Son of a bitch.
What?
So it's Type 41 TARDIS. We were actually talking about that earlier. So, and like I said, part of the reason why I wanted to show the rolls was just in case, it was somebody we knew would come up. So Type 41 TARDIS is actually Alley Cat's fiance. Oh, shit.
So, Allie, is he gonna do some nice embroidery for you?
Wow. That is fucking funny. Oh my god. I didn't,
It's funny.
Like I said, literally, we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, because you were like, oh, does he even, would he use this stuff? And I was like, well, he does some cosplay stuff, because he's gotten into it.
Yeah, but...
do you want to verify with him that he wants us to re-roll? Because it is him who
I was going to say, we can't... I will throw in for another I will re-roll, but I'll do another 5 rolls just to make it fair.
Wait for her to go ahead and give us a response.
Yeah.
And look at Tao. Tao's being adorable. And Allie, as you know, if you ever need access to a crap ton of embroidery stuff, well, I can't see it right now, but I have a whole bunch of these. I probably have 4 or 5 of them that are full, but I did finally organize them by color.
Oh, okay. So apparently Ryan's asleep, so I'm going to go with Allie's suggestion.
Okay.
And go ahead and re-roll.
She speaks for him.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and do 5 rolls again, just so you can see the random. So 1... 42, nice. 2... 3... 4... and 5. So that's number 23. And that... Hoshi Rosethorn Cosplay. So, congratulations, and it's funny, that one's actually one of the Twitch follow, entries. So yeah, that's we have a winner, and like I said, I was very happy to see how many people came in, especially with the commentary. With wanting to learn embroidery and stuff, so that's great. So
also, Allie will like what their comment was, because I was just looking at the thing, and one of the things they mentioned for the embroidery was for their time skip Ingrid from Fire Emblem Three Houses, and yes. Allie is Fire Emblem trash, so I'm sure she will like that.
Yeah, so hopefully we can eventually look forward to that costume and seeing the final result. So I will have to hit them up for info and so on and so forth, and I need to get an email so I can send them the gift card and whatnot. So, hopefully we can do this again in the future. We're not sure what yet, but like I said, because of the fact that I think this gives people an entry into learning new things. That's something we'll have to consider. What it'll be, we'll figure it out. Who knows? So, um, so I think that's about it for me. Kirsten, you got anything you want to leave off with?
I don't think so.
I didn't ask you, truck. That's with backup beef back there, fucker.
Is there any questions from the chat before we bounce?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions,
which I'm gonna post on my story, tagging the person who won and telling them to contact you.
Mm-hmm. So yes, why do you guys suck? I don't know, man. I ask myself that question every fucking day. Why do I suck? Say what's bad is I can do the whistles like. Yeah, Rizuki, that's going. I'm gonna work on that soon. And actually, Kirsten, if you want to, you could probably go ahead and put some on IG while I'm writing the article. So
maybe I'll think about what one I want to post.
Yeah, definitely. And there's
so
actually
I can guarantee there's some quality twirl content for Tuesday.
Some what?
Twirling. Because circle skirt. Okay, let me show you the petticoat for that thing. Because originally it was only half that because I was going to make it 2 layers. But I was like, it's too small. Let me take the second layer and put it into the first layer to make it gigantic. So, let me move the wig out of the way. So again, circle skirt, it's huge. But then, there is a very large petticoat that is lacy underneath so that when it twirls almost about the same as the circle skirt on top of it. So.
And always thought we said Trolling Tuesday, so.
Well, I mean, I do like to troll people, so, you know. Actually, I'm not limited to 1 day for trolling, Luis. You should know that.
Yes. For him, it's a full-time
Why would
position.
I limit
what
myself?
The fuck are you talking about? I mean, come on.
He knows it's not a 1 day thing.
The troll does not rest on Sunday.
Oh, and then one fun note. The way I did the Aurora wig, I should also be able to use it for Sailor Venus stuff. So who knows if some of that will be coming soon for me. Or I will put my wig on Allie and have her wear it with her Venus stuff. Because Venus.
All right. So, yeah, you can definitely look forward to more content from us, either via Twitch, but... You know, also, I'll write an article for the website because there is a little bit more about the behind the scenes and
Cat. And then, aside from the article that Rob's going to work on writing about the photo shoot process, eventually I will get around to making a write-up about the costume because, like I said, I have probably at least 60 pictures of the process of me making it. Now, that's not including the undergarments I wore with it because I did use a chemise, bloomers, and a corset that I made. I can add a few notes on that, but that stuff will probably be more talked about whenever I do a Glinda write-up.
Yeah.
So, but this covers a lot of basic things like making a circle skirt, a bodice that does have boning, it's not steel, and then a fluffy little blouse.
Yep. Yeah. So you'll definitely see more stuff outside of video, but we're still going to continue this on. And also, Rizuki, congrats to you for bringing back the Potato Show on.
Yay, Potato Show
on Twitch, even though.
If you haven't heard of the Potato Show, you need to hit up Rizuki's Instagram or her Twitch and learn about the Potato Show because the Potato Show is great.
Even though
Rob and I definitely had some good laughs the other night with the Potato Show.
And holy God, we showed our age, Jesus.
Rizuki made them sit through videos of the Yowie paddle. It was hilarious.
Oh, and I remember those. That was the sad part. I was like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Holy shit.
That was before I did conventions, but it was funny.
Yes. So, all right, I think we're good to end it here. So, we'll be back in 2 weeks. Look forward to more content on the website. Look forward to more content on Instagram. I still really need to do more about Twitter, but I'm trying to decide if I'm still going to even bother. So, I have a list. We'll figure out
Yes,
something.
we actually have a list of things we actually want to hit you up for. So we just need to talk about it.
Or if we just want to be general nerds, Rizuki and I can talk about how the Dreamcast is the world's best system, and everybody else, if they try to tell us otherwise, we will fight them. We
Hey,
will
and then
fight them.
Rizuki and I can talk about how Stars is the best Sailor Moon thing, even though the anime butchered it. So we could rant about Sailor Moon all day long.
Oh god, yes. There's a
Heck, with 2020 being 500 years, you could probably rant about Sailor Moon as long as 2020 will last. So.
yeah, I'm fairly sure of that. So we'll work on that. Let's go. Yes. So anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and end it here. Thanks for so much, everybody, taking part of the giveaway. We think it was a great thing to help people learn some new skills, especially right now. That'll make their costumes better. So there is that. So I think for now we'll go ahead and end it. As for me, as I always say, the most important thing: get dumb ideas, make them awesome. We'll see you next time.